This week on LIC presents Journey in the Life of an Indian. We profile two women who are incredible achievers. These are lone women fighters with an indomitable spirit. Mother to a son with autism, Mary Barua is a trailblazer who has improved the lives of hundreds of autistic children. Kalpana Saroj may look like an ordinary woman. For this millionaire, life has been a roller coaster ride, taking her from the slums of Mumbai to setting up her own business empire.
I first realized there was something different about him when he was about 2.5. He was my first child. I had no idea what children are supposed to be like when they're growing up. I got a little report from his nursery class, and his textbooks, exercise books and drawing books, and everything was kind of blank, and his drawing book would have one little squiggle in the corner of the page. Every page had just one little squiggle. I had asked his pediatrician many times, and each time he'd tell me, "You're just worrying, he's fine," because the physical milestones were okay. So then I started this search from the time he was around 2.5 till he was about 5 years, before I managed to track down this one psychiatrist in Calcutta who was able to diagnose autism in those days.
For Mary and Neeraj, that diagnosis in 1985 marked the beginning of a long struggle, a struggle a mother undertook for her son.
Nobody I talked to knew what it was. Nobody I spoke to had ever heard the word. It was just kind of, a black hole. And I think that is what was really the devastating part of it.
For Mary to understand her son, she had to understand autism first. Defined as a neural disorder, it is characterized by impaired social interaction and verbal and non-verbal communication. When special schools didn't really help Neeraj, Mary, guided by her maternal passion, decided to go to Massachusetts, United States in 1991 in a bid to enter his world.
By then I had realized from my readings that this is a very different condition and needs different handling. And B, I needed to get myself trained in some way so that I was able to help him. And that was critical. And I got myself trained, and when I came back, I actually did a home program with him for 1.5 years, where we just stayed at home and I focused on him, like 24 hours he was my project. And it had a tremendous impact.
1991 also saw the launch of Action for Autism, an organization founded by Mary, which wanted to put autism on the Indian map. And in 1994, Mary threw open her arms to welcome students at her school, Open Door, India's first special school dedicated to autistics.
I had a few parents and families come to me and say that, why don't you start something? And one of them was this young sister of a girl with autism, an amazing sister who said that, would you do something with her? And I said that, I don't know if I can help her the way I helped my son, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And it really worked. I was able to help that girl settle down, and I thought, okay, then why don't I, all my learnings, if it's working with her, let me try and start a school where I'd be able to help other children. And at the back of my mind was always the thought that, people don't have to go through that black hole that I had gone through. Once they learn something, it is hard to teach them to do it differently.
Mary, her knowledge and her experiences soon filled a gaping hole in the lives of parents who were battling lack of information.
But कभी-कभी directive use करना पड़ता है about the fact that भैया के साथ snacks share करें.
She formulated a training program for parents and professionals that gave them an insight into the wonderful world of autism. The workshops have definitely helped parents like Kalpana. Her son Dravid was diagnosed with autism when he was 1.5 years old.
अपनी तरफ से वो बताना चाह रहा है, वो इतना रोता है, मुझे समझ नहीं आता उस टाइम पे क्या करूँ. कभी कभी मार भी लेती हूँ उसको कि करना क्या है, मुझे पता अगर मैं मार भी लेती हूँ उससे भी उसका फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता था. वो जो सेम चीज़ रिपीट करता है, ये मुझे समझ नहीं आता था. तो यहाँ पे आके सारे मतलब कि क्यों करते हैं, हम उस टाइम पे क्या करना चाहिए, किस तरीके से हमें बच्चों के साथ सिखाना चाहिए, ये सब यहाँ के ही मैंने सीखा था.
Dravid is enrolled at Open Door and coupled with Kalpana's training has become more responsive. Kalpana on the other hand is now a special educator at the same school.
मेरी तो हमारे लिए गाड़ी है वो जो मोस्टली अभी जो ऑल ओवर इंडिया में जहाँ पे भी सेंटर्स है कि यहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ ट्रेनिंग लेकर ही आओगे यहाँ, मतलब कि मोस्टली जो ऑटिज्म के बारे में जो है, जो लोग जो ट्रेनिंग भी नहीं ले पाते यहाँ के आज जो करते हैं किस तरीके से हम कर सकते हैं.
At Open Door, special educators work with around 50 students in the school program, plus several hundred children through outreach. Trained by Mary and her team, these educators are attuned to their students' needs and teach them accordingly.
Their visual modality is stronger. So when you use visuals to teach, so whenever anything that you're teaching, if you can make it very concrete, very visual, they learn better.
Where's the egg? Yes, it's right here, on the leaf. On Monday, he ate through one apple.
And that is, I think, one of the things that I learned. So when I'm communicating with a child with autism, if I have a picture in front of me, it's easier for him to understand.
Mary and her team at Action for Autism have given a second lease of life to autistic adults like Mr. Guha, helping them function in a professional capacity.
Time to time guide किया है, मतलब रूटीन बनाया है, कैसे करना है, कैसे नहीं करना है, कैसे हमें लिखने में लैंग्वेज दिया है.
She encourages me to be better and better day by day, and with all her talks and counseling sessions, she helps me also control my anger in a much better way.
While young students at AFA are taught communication and cognitive skills, Neeraj and her friends, with a little help from the special educators, make beautiful handicrafts at Aadhar, the Work Skills Training Center for young adults with autism, defying age-old beliefs regarding disabilities. Neeraj, Mary and Action for Autism are also part of another battle, that of dignity and rights for people with autism.
When you are included in the law, then you get a lot of programmatic benefits, which families of kids with autism do not get. One of the simplest things is what you call a disability certificate. That is kind of the passport. And if you're not included in the law, you don't have that. When a child has asked for an aid in the school has said, but your child doesn't have any difficulty. So they said, but my child does have autism. Get a disability certificate. families who do not want to be transferred because they're already getting services in one place, or who want to be transferred because they are in a place where there is nothing, are often told, you give us some kind of a certificate to say that your child has a disability.
Over the years, Mary has taught Neeraj a lot of things, has helped him understand the world around him. But the greatest lesson has been taught by the son to his mother.
I could go around wanting a better house, a better car, a better son, right? A better everything, and make myself extremely unhappy till I get that, which is what people usually do. A better job, a better, whatever, mobile. I want the iPhone, that's what people do. But what Neeraj has truly taught me is these things don't matter. They just do not matter. I can be happy inside my head.